We're 2 weeks away from WK1, day first. So you know what that means. That's right. Time to get excited by sharing Coachella camping horror stories. What's yours? Okay, I start. The year was 2014. Our car camping group was maybe 4 cars or so. Nothing too crazy. We got there early afternoon in the middle of setting up our campsite. I can overhear our neighbors in the disgust Aussie's accent just getting super hyped that they are there and best out there speaking and proceed to blast the Pet Shop Boys. Boys and girls, we finish setting up camps and start to mingle with them and introduce ourselves. I was a group of four Australian guys, all first time at Coachella, who were all super stoked to see the Pet Shop Boys that year. And see them blasting Western girls. The lads were nice enough at first. As the day turned into evening, the excitement from our numbers only ramped up. By the time the sun went down, I had heard West End girls rap 10 times. The song wasn't on repeat per se, but they kept playing what damn song, which I actually like, but Simon, they continued to drink and kept getting louder and louder and kept playing Western girls. By 1 a.m. I'd thought they would lose steam and sit down at the beat. Boy, was I wrong. These guys went all fucking night. Like, literally, they partied past 4 a.m. and loud as fuck. The whole entire time I got next to no sleep. For day one, I was so pissed and frustrated that the lack of the draw gave me these numbers. I stayed in my tent as long as could, trying to get any extra minutes of rest that I could. I finally exited my tent around 8 a.m. and see all four of the others sleeping on the top of their one tent that they brought. Tent is completely cold-paste and broken, and they are literally all pasted out lying on the box, now broken. Useless tent in the sun without canopy. Cherry on top if that one of the guys was butt naked, pasted out lying on his stomach with a glow stick sticking out of his ass. This was before they started crying canopies and tents in the general store. So these guys had no tent the entire weekend. They didn't even make into the festival on Friday. I went back to the campsite early Friday evening to rechange and grab a jacket, and they were all sitting there mess of a campsite, just hangover, hearting, and very quick came back after the festival ended Friday at like 1:30 a.m. and they were all still sitting and laying around super quiet. Best part was we got to return the favor. Our group was partying hard that night, and they actually asked us if we could keep it down. We all louder and continued to party. They eventually made it in on Saturday and enjoyed their bed shop boys. They weren't half as crazy on Saturday night as they were day one. Thank God it all worked out in the end. It was a rough way to start the weekend, but I am glad I have the story to tell. Last night I had a terrible nightmare. I was sitting in a dark version of my classroom with the giant dark oak trees outside. A teacher with a bloodshot eyes handed my exam papers. Confused, I looked around, but I found nobody else in the room. The teacher then told me that I had 6 minutes for the class test. I hurried to start with the task at hand, but as I skipped through the pages, I fell in the disappeared as I saw paper and paper and paper and paper. After skimming through like 30 pages, I returned to the first page and found it to the blank again. I tried to refill the paper only to watch the ink fade away again. That was when the teacher said that I had 15 minutes left while starting at me. Really, I noticed her sharp teeth and the stench of a dried blood in the air, but I had no time to look for the source. After finishing a few pages, I looked back to the abomination that had been my teacher before. Its skin apparated, returned and filled with stitches. I blinked and noticed it had moved a few inches closer. I was forced to take in this grotesque form more and more as it moved closer and closer with the minutes passing. I didn't want to imagine what would happen if it reached me, so I tried to blink as little as possible while putting back against the wall. Suddenly the bell rang and an airy voice said that the time was over. I couldn't be blinking before it reached me. 1, 2, it threw an obstructing table out the window into the woods. 3 now, it was almost in proximity, for I closed my eyes so I didn't have to see this thing. I opened my eyes in a horror as it skimmed and bitten throat. That was when I woke up. Drenched in cold sweat, I was really about it just being a bad dream. I went about my dad and I got myself a coffee. I was shocked when I saw the graded exam papers on my table with a message, "See you again tonight," written with a red dye. I am scared to go bed tonight.